It's another week. Yesterday was Father's Day, and today at our daughter's nursery they had a "Dads, have breakfast with your kids" thing, which was really nice. Although, of course, I get to have breakfast with my kids every day. I've been inside editing, so not been enjoying this beautiful weather, and in a moment I'm about to record a podcast, so I'll have to shut all of the windows, turn off the fan, and it will get pretty stuffy, so yeah, make the most of it. It is so hot in here. Put that back on. You okay? You've not cooked? And John, who I was speaking to, was cooking at the other end. When you listen to John Hicks's episode and its beautiful sound quality, appreciate what we put ourselves through, won't you? It's not going to go out for a few weeks, but it's really good. I recommend checking out his work. Like, this is the guy who created the Firefox logo. The MailChimp monkey has done stuff for Skype and Spotify and Freelance for like 15, 16 years, something like that. You don't get to be doing it for that long without learning plenty of stuff to share along the way, that's for sure. Well, I'm just going to stand in front of this fan for a little bit and then go and pick up our daughter from nursery. I just wanted to share with you. So I'm producing a lot of videos for one particular client, and they are perfectionists, and I like that. But they're also realists, and there were some comments on some of the voiceovers that we'd used, not that I'd done, where they wanted some changes made. And the thing is, if I'm going to go back to a voiceover artist, I need to really understand what the problem is so that I can put that across to them. And if I don't think there's really anything wrong with it, and I can't figure out what the issue is, then that's a problem. So I got them on the phone and was like, can you have another listen? Because on these particular ones, I don't really get what the problem is, so I need you to tell me so that I can pass it on. And they've listened again and have come back saying, ignore me, I was just being too fussy. So there you go. Sometimes it's worth querying feedback, rather than just blindly doing everything a client asks you to do. It's Wednesday. There's a come and do maths with your kids thing after school drop off this morning. So to make up for the time that I won't be working, I got up a little bit earlier. Also bought my laptop to do some in the car because there's like a 15-minute window between drop off and actually having to go back in. So rather aptly for maths thing, making every moment count. It was really good fun. And actually there was a few kids there who didn't have their parents there. That's why it's important that I do that, because the fact is it's a privilege to get to go into school and do those things, because a lot of parents have to go into an office and work somewhere and they just can't do it. Okay, it's a privilege I've created for myself by being self-employed, but nevertheless. Last week I said about having a little kid's umbrella to shield your laptop, to stop it overheating and block the sunshine when you're working in your garden. But what if the sun is overhead, you might say? Then the angled umbrella won't work. Well, kid's umbrella plus trainer. Come on. One thing I thought I'd mention is that normally I can sleep absolutely fine. Like, I go to bed, I read my Kindle practically until it falls out of my hand. Usually only takes about 5-10 minutes, and I just sleep. Last night coupled with the fact that it was really hot, of course, I did find myself awake a lot, and I found myself worrying and turning over the workload that I've got coming up over the next few months, and wondering how me and the guys I work with are gonna manage to do it all. In the end, to get myself to sleep, I kind of came up with a plan, and the main bit of that was today sitting down and just once again expanding my team of animators. So yeah, that is my plan basically. Before the panic actually happens, months ahead of that, foreseeing it and making plans to get people in place now. So it's Thursday, a bit of a shock, my jeans are back on. I had a really good night with my mates last night. It was disgracefully hot, even though technically we were outside, but really good to see them all. Felt good though today. This morning I had another maths games thing, but this time with our daughter in nursery, and then I went into town and worked from a coffee shop for a bit while the cleaner was here, and did some bits and pieces. Now I'm back home. I mentioned that I have found, I hope, another animator to help out, and I've also found another writer to bring on, although this one is in France because we're making videos for the French market, and I basically want to delegate it to somebody in France because it's blatantly going to work better. Now spending ages writing a brief, and that's the thing actually, when you hire people to work with you, initially you have to spend quite a bit of time writing everything down so they understand totally what the vision is, how the process is going to work, what the budget might be, how payment will work. I think it's really worthwhile putting all of those elements in. Basically, I think, what would I want to know if this was me? Not only are my legs under jeans, my arms are under a jumper. This really isn't on. One thing I was going to say is, with the guy in France that I'm trying to work with, I was struck by the fact that in his initial email to me he said, just to let you know, I'm not around through the whole of August, and then wrote in brackets, that's France. How brilliant is that? How good must it feel just to be able to say, I'm not available for the whole of August. I'm tempted to make that a goal for next summer 2018, to have the processes, people and client expectations in place that I would be able to not work for all of the summer holidays. I just loved it though. The idea of it's August. Why would we do anything in August? So it's Friday. My wife has got the day off today because there's like a school concert thing we need to go to. But I've been working this morning and yeah, basically taking this afternoon off, and I'm going to work this evening before we go camping for the weekend. Not that my wife's coming, she's staying at home with the cat and a bottle of Prosecco, but I'm going with my brothers, and one of my brother has kids as well, of a kind of similar age to ours. And it kind of feels as well like it's going to be a last hurrah for me before I think I'm going to just have to suck it up and work a lot of weekends during July, so that I know that we're on top of the deadlines that we've got. Do you know, it's been so nice getting away this weekend. Like, even just one night away has felt so different. Because I work at home, I spend so much time at home, so actually getting out is good. And then getting into the fresh air. Staring at a fire instead of staring at a screen. Yeah, just been great actually.